Okay, Dr. RJB, and I wanted to talk about stretching and exercise. And in this case, it's post-exercise stretching. They have done studies, and they find that stretching before you exercise does nothing at all. It doesn't prevent injury, it doesn't make you faster, it doesn't do anything. But stretching afterwards is good to kind of help with some of the repair. The When you are, let's just say, going for a race, you actually want those muscles to be tight so that you can push off well, and you can respond quickly. But when you stretch, you kind of do the opposite. You loosen those muscles, and loose muscles don't react quickly. So it's actually better to have tight muscles when you're doing some sort of an athletic event. Now, it doesn't mean you want those muscles to be tight all the time. So after your sport is over with, then is when you want to stretch to get rid of any spasm or kinks that are in the muscle. Usually this will also help the muscle repair any damage faster by getting better blood flow to the muscle. When the muscle is very tight, it's hard to get the blood into a tight muscle. So by doing some mild stretching, you can kind of relax the muscle and get the blood flow there that can help to get rid of any waste products and take care of any minor injury that might be occurring. And they have shown in research that this is actually the case, that it's not just theoretical, that they've actually done studies that show to stretch after the workout actually improves recovery. The person who does, any kind of an exercise that involves strength, same thing goes. Stretching is a good thing to loosen up those muscles. Once again, you want to get the blood flow moving. In these cases, the stretching after exercise appears to be helpful with recovery and with performance. But stretching before the exercise, like I mentioned, research has shown it's not very effective. I mentioned that a mild stretch is what we're talking about. We don't want to be trying to stretch to your absolute limit. You want to have a stretch that doesn't hurt in any way. You want to feel the tightness of the muscle as you're pulling on it. But if the muscle is in pain, it's not a good idea to stretch a muscle that's in pain, because then what's going on is you have an injury there if it's painful to stretch. So again, if you're having an injury, you don't stretch an injury. You can make the injury worse by stretching an injury. So with muscles that are just tight, you want to try to relax them by doing a nice, easy stretch. Now, there's two ways of stretching. The way that I do, because I was taught yoga, is I will put the stretch in and then hold it for a period of time. So I'll usually try to go at least 30 seconds of the stretch and try to relax while I'm doing it so that I'm not fighting myself. The other way of doing it is a more ballistic type that the physical therapists use all the time. So let's just say I'm trying to stretch this finger. I can pull it backwards and then hold it for 30 seconds, a minute, and that's the yoga type stretch. Or I can do like the physical therapist. You hold it 1, 2, 3 seconds and then relax. Come back 1, 2, 3 seconds and relax. You do that 10 reps of 3 seconds each. So a 3 count and then relax it, come back again. The reason for this is that after about 5 seconds, you get something called the stretch response. There are stretch receptors in the muscles, which basically tell the muscle that the stretch is occurring. And the body doesn't want there to be any injury, so it kind of fights the stretch. So in other words, when I stretch it this way, my finger wants to go back here to prevent you from tearing my finger off. So that's why you hold it for 3 seconds and then relax, because there's not enough time for that stretch receptor to start putting the spasm in. So stretch, hold for 3 seconds, go back, stretch, hold for 3 seconds, go back. And like I said, usually it's 3 seconds times 10 reps. So almost like you're lifting weights where you do, 3 sets of 10. This is 3 seconds of in 10 reps. Now, if you're doing the hamstrings, one of the things with the hamstring muscle is the hamstring muscle comes into play whenever the body is at about 90 degrees. So you can move forward and then hold the stretch and then relax. These are some things, as far as the stretching for different, sports-related muscle problems. But once again, if the stretch is painful, back off. You don't want to stretch an injury. Okay, take care.